All right, boom, we're going to get it popping with a part 2. I'm not sure how I'm going to post it, but y'all will see it when y'all see it. And when y'all see it, fuck with that, okay? Fuck with that and know it's all love on my side, family. It's nothing but love on my side, family. So if you did tune into the previous podcast, right? The podcast was hitting 30 minutes, you feel me? The podcast was hitting 30 minutes, so I had to go on and re-record a podcast, right? I had to do another one, so we about to get right into that re-recording, which is going to be the next episode, family. Might be episode 7. We don't know. We'll see, okay? And I can't put none of this in here because if it is, then that shit don't sound right, huh? Damn. Well, we about to get right into it. Okay, peace, family. You already know the vibes. You already know who it is. You feel me? Your host, Perpetual 333, baby. Okay, let's get it. So look, family. If you did tune into the last podcast, right? If you did tune into the last podcast, this is episode 7. This is episode 7. You could kind of consider this the part 2, family. You could kind of consider this the part 2, you feel me, to that episode 6, because I did speak on the questions, all the questions that I would dive into, but we just took so long diving into that first one. I hit my mark, family. So I had to wrap it up. So this podcast episode 7, let's get it. We will be diving right in. Let me take a sip. Okay. And that's the last of it right there. So we got to make it count, okay, family? We got to make it count. All right. The topics we're going to be diving in. Let's go. I got another thought. All right, here you go. How do you deal with your own toxicity, right? Boom. How do you deal with your own toxicity, right? Thoughts, feelings, and emotions that bring you from your divine self, okay? How do you separate yourself from your human experience? That's deep. That's a deep one. Go listen to the last podcast. If you didn't hear the last one, I need you to go listen to episode 6. Like I said, this is like a part 2 right here. So you got to get the 2-piece. You got to get the part 1, then get the part 2. You feel me? You must remember. Okay, hold up. Pause. That's not it. Next one. How do you remain your higher self? Okay. Last question. How did you get into spirituality? All right. So this podcast might not be too long, family, but we're going to dive right into it and we're going to answer every single question that was presented to me. You see what I'm saying? Let's go. How do you deal with your own toxicity? Now look, first and foremost, okay? Anything I'm speaking on this podcast, family, is me. Personally, my personal experience, my personal perspective. What's the name of the podcast, family? Say it with me. The Perpetual Perspective Podcast. Exactly. So this is my perspective, right? I'm not telling you what to do. I'm not telling you how to do. I'm not telling you how to be. I'm not telling you what it is. I'm not telling you the one way in the world that's right. I'm not telling you the one way in the world that works. I'm not that. The Perpetual Perspective. That's the reminder, nigga, that look, you coming to my house. You coming to my house. You tapping on my link. You want to hear my perspective. You feel me? So it's not about an argument. Now, I'm open to hearing perspectives as well that might not be my perspective. That's cool. That's cool. That's clear. But it's not about an argument. It's not about a debate because this is my perspective, right? I'm a different person than you. I am not you. You are not me, okay? We just had to just first and foremost, before we dive into this part 2, okay? Now, first one. How do you deal with your own toxicity? Who, shit? Me? Who, me? Boy. Okay, now look, listen, family. I can be toxic, okay? Now, this is the thing. When I'm toxic, I'm well aware. I'm well aware, right? When I'm toxic, I'm well aware. If I'm toxic or perceived as toxic, it might be somebody projecting. Because when I'm toxic, I'm well aware. There's not one vibration in my body that I can send off, one thing that I can do without being aware that I'm doing it. From what I know. You see what I'm saying? From what I know, it's just ain't like that. It's just not gonna be like that, right? So if I'm being toxic or displaying a toxic trait, I know what I'm doing. I promise you, I know what I'm doing. You see what I'm saying? And I'm choosing to do that. Period. You feel me? So how do you deal with your own toxicity? Now, it comes out, but you got to embrace it. This is one thing you got to know, right? In life, there must be balance. Light and darkness. You can't have light without the darkness. You can't have darkness without the light. Okay, family? Understand that. You want to know how you deal with your own toxicity. You have certain keys and certain things you need to understand first. And these are the things. When I'm speaking, that's why I'm saying it. These are the things, right? You need to first understand, right? Balance. Balance. There must be darkness. There must be light. So these toxic traits, they're not coming up for no reason. And they have their place. They have their place and they play their role. They are very much valid. Okay? We not shunning them. We not pushing it to the wayside. We not kicking it. We not judging it for sure, especially not ourselves. We not judging ourselves. We easy on ourselves. We are gentle on ourselves in our toxic ways we are. But we first must understand and become aware of them before we can be gentle in this and that. Because it still is a ball game. This is not okay in toxicity. But this is navigating through toxicity because you don't stay toxic. You realize you're toxic, you understand, you observe that toxic aspect of yourself or that toxic characteristic, and you get ready to transmute that shit. You see what I'm saying? Okay, so boom. This is what I said right here. Well, let me say the question. The rest of the question. Thoughts, feelings, and emotions that bring you from your divine self. So let me read the full. How do you deal with your own toxicity? Thoughts, feelings, and emotions that bring you from your divine self. You having thoughts, feelings, emotions, right? That have you feeling like, damn, I'm not as powerful as I think. Damn, I'm not as divine as I really think. Damn, you know what? Fuck this shit. I'm a human at the end of the day, man. I'm about to rock this shit out, bro. You know what I'm saying? It got you just feeling like, yeah, you out it. You're not connected, right? You're not connected. Realize that shit first. Once you realize that, if you can say it right now and speak and ask the question, then you have the ability to observe that about yourself. That's the first thing I know. I know if you can ask the question, you have the ability to observe that about yourself. So do that. Observe that shit. Get that shit. Understand that shit. Sit with that bitch. Okay? I need you to sit with that shit. I need you to feel it. I need you to feel it all the way through. That's why I say don't sit there, push it away. Don't sit there, I'm being toxic. I'm being toxic. I need to chill right now. Nah. Sometimes play with that shit and see. See, really just see, right? So this is what I say. Entertain it. I say entertain it. You got to fully experience that shit. But the object is just not to stay in it. You must, we're here to experience. Don't run from shit. We are here to experience. It's no sense in running from the shit. Things come up, situations come up to have us feel in a certain way. And so that we can experience certain emotions, certain feelings, certain things. These are things that we need. Don't run from the shit. Experience that shit. Truly just surrender. Surrender and feel that shit. But like I said, the key is just to not stay in it. Once you can know that, look, one, observe. Like I said, if you could ask the question, you definitely are able to observe. You have the ability to observe this. Observe it. Okay, this is my toxic ways. This is the toxic characteristics I'm displaying right now. Observe that shit. Sit in that shit. Feel it. Look at it. Study it about yourself. How is it different from the way you did last time? How are you feeling this time doing it or reacting this way than you did last time? Because you become more aware. You can't continue to do the same shit. A weird-ass nigga can't continue to do the same shit and not start to look at themselves and check themselves like, fuck. You nudge your own self in the inside. That's how I'm set up. That's how I'm built. When my toxic ways, you ask me, when my toxic ways come up, what I do, I'm checking myself at the door. I'm telling you, when I say that shit, I mean it. I'm talking about my higher self is checking me. So when I am in that lower self or in those lower vibrations, displaying those lower energies, demons, demonic energy, you see what I'm saying? That's all the lower vibrational energy is. When you in that lower energy displaying those fucking energies, at the end of the day, my higher self is like, nigga. Pop, pop, pop. What the, whoa, hold up. This what we doing now? Nigga, you remember last time, you see what I'm saying? I'm checking me at the door. Now, like I said, sometimes we might choose to just, like I said, just, okay, sit, just really, whatever with that shit, play with that shit, but I'm aware. So you got that awareness, you become aware, sit with that shit, feel that shit, observe that shit, experience that shit, surrender to that shit, right? Just don't stay there. You got to gain control, right? You got to get the upper hand and make sure you keep the upper hand over that motherfucker. Even it by me telling you right now to sit there with that shit, I'm in control every step of the way. Yeah, I might be feeling it. Yeah, the emotions and feelings might be there, but I'm still in control. I got the ultimate control over that shit every step of the way. Not the ultimate. We ain't talking about the most high, but we talking about over these emotions and these feelings in this motherfucking vessel. I got it. Okay? I got it. That mind is a motherfucker. Your mind is a motherfucker. Boy, that boy eat you up. So you got to gain control over your motherfucking mind. You are not your mind. You are not this body. You are not that mind. I promise you, you are not that body. You are not that mind. You are not that body. You are not that mind. You are not that body. You are not that mind. You are not. It's probably a million motherfuckers inside of you, because just think about it, you be talking and feeling a lot. Me, I talk to myself a lot. I feel like there's a bunch of people in there and shit like that. You know what I mean? Motherfucker be conversing, plus the spiritual team who be on my back. You know what I'm saying? And then not even just on my back. Sometimes the spiritual team come through me. So it's not always me. It's them, but me, but them together. And it's just, you know what I mean? That's just facts. I'm speaking facts raw right now. You see what I'm saying? So boom. All of these things like fear, all of these lower vibrational feelings, these fear, these bad thoughts, the toxic, all that shit, it comes up for a specific reason. This shit serves you. If you didn't listen to the other podcast, man, what was that podcast? The Fear is Not Real. If you did not listen to that's what it was. Failure is not real. If you did not listen to that podcast, go listen to that podcast. Like I said, these things, I use the analogy like these things are just, you know, like your gas gauge, right? Your gas gauge is an indicator, right? So you got to look at these things like a positive indicator for you. You see what I'm saying? These things are here to serve you. Toxic waves, this. If you really was perfect, you didn't have toxic waves, everything was love and light, you wouldn't be here. You wouldn't have no purpose here. You wouldn't have nothing to solve, nothing to heal, why would you need to be here? You could be teaching, you could be guiding, you could be in the realms, you know what I'm saying? You wouldn't need to be here experiencing, because you got what you need, nigga. You ain't got no problems, nigga. Bye. You want to be that nigga? Do you want to be that nigga? Nah, so we here to experience, we here to learn, we here to feel that shit, man. Feel that shit, bro. Who? Feel that shit. Me, I be feeling, man, and that's what, I create music. Find you an outlet, big dog. Find you an outlet, you feel me? Find you an outlet that you could be able to release, you see what I'm saying? In a good way, in a creative way, in a positive way. You feel me? You got to find you an outlet, because it's not good to keep shit bottled up as well. You know what I'm saying? We talk about the thoughts, the toxicity. You can't keep that shit in. You got to find a release. That's an important aspect right there. How do you deal with the toxicity? Release. Find a great way to release. That's key. That's essential. Because if not, that shit bottles up. We not dealing with shit ain't pushing it to the side. Dealing with shit ain't just loving light positivity even though I don't feel good about it. No, that ain't what it is. That's not what it's about, because that shit's still there somewhere. And it's going to come up in the future sometime. You know what I'm saying? So you got to find a way to release. A healthy release, a positive release. You feel me? Boom. Next question. How do you separate yourself from your human experience? Good one. Good one. Good one. How do you separate yourself from your human experience? The best time to separate yourself from your human experience is when you're going through real treacherous times. When shit is real low, when shit is real heavy, that's the best time to kind of escape and get away. You see what I'm saying? But like I said, you got to transmute that shit and make it positive. That's the best times because you care less. When we in a better, when we, everything good and stuff, we tend to care so fucking much about how shit is. It's not even cool, bruh. We tend to care so much that motherfucking ego be on 1,000. That motherfucking ego be on 1,000, boy. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, when we mad at shit like that, we just release like that wall come down, that veil come down. It's just like whatever at that point. You know, you mad, it's just like whatever. You'll do some shit or say some shit you wouldn't do regular. You know that. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, use that time, take advantage of that time, you see what I'm saying, to go ahead on and just connect to this. But at the end of the day, you got to understand, you say, how do you separate yourself from your human experience? Understand who you are. Connecting to your truth and understanding who you truly are. You can get away from this human experience. You know that you're a spiritual being at your core, at your essence. That's how you get away from this human experience. Connect to things that remind you of your inner divinity, right? Listening to this podcast. For example. You feel me? That's going to be number one. But do things that's going to connect you back to your inner divinity. Connect you back to the things that make you feel, that make you understand who you truly are, that make you understand that this life is just an experience. We're just experiencing. And connect you back to your soul, connect you back to your spirit, connect you back to what you truly came here to do. It's easy to get distracted. I promise it's so easy to get distracted. It's a lot of shit out here in this earth. It's a lot of shit out here in this world. It's so easy to get distracted. So knowing who you are is important. How do you know who you are? How do you know who you are? Tap the fuck in. Meditate, family. Meditate, sit with yourself. You want answers? Sit with yourself and meditate. It's the craziest thing. It might be the most challenging thing. You might not get the answers the first time you meditate. You might not get the answers the second time you meditate. But you got to be intentional about this shit. If your intention might not be right. If you're intentional about this shit, you will get just what you need. Every time. If you're intentional about it, you will get just what you need every time, family. You see what I'm saying? So that's that right there. Now next, because I don't want to make this one too long. We about to be hitting our mark again, you feel me, family? The next one, right? Oh, hold up. This is my little short answer right quick. You must remember who you truly are at your core. This is where getting in tune with your soul and spirit comes in. You are truly divine. And when you're connected to your higher self, you know this truth, what I just said, right? So you are divine, family. You are truly divine, right? It's not anything beautiful, anything positive, anything amazing, anything that you see about another person is you. I want you to take a second to just receive that shit, love that shit, embrace that shit. Like, nobody else is like you, big dog. I'm talking to everybody out there. Nobody else is like you. Even if they might do the same thing, y'all might got the same career. Y'all might even got the same, like y'all both could sing or y'all both can dance or something. Y'all might both got a podcast, nigga. Everybody ain't like you. You are you and nobody is like you. You're fucking unique. You got to embrace that part of you. That's a big key to just really, what was the question about the human experience and stuff like that and being able to connect to your higher self. Just really embrace the fact that you are unique. There's nobody else like you. Sit with yourself. Like I said earlier, meditate. You're going to connect with your higher self. You are your higher self. There won't be nothing to connect with once you get there. You are your higher self then. It's like, it's not, you can't even say I'll connect with my higher self because I am my higher self. I'm one with my higher self then, so I am that. That's the key. That's the ultimate goal. But you got to take that time to separate and get away from all this other shit. Distractions. A lot of shit is distracting us. You on social media all day, every day is still not good. I know that's my way of reaching out to the people, but I want to be in a community. I want to be closer to the people. I want to be closer to the people. Heart to heart, hand to hand with the people. You see what I'm saying? This is cool, but you know what I'm saying? I love the podcast, but I want to be close, heart to heart. You see what I'm saying? At the end of the day, fam, let's get into it. So, next, how do you remain your higher self? Okay, I just said that shit, right? How do you remain your higher self? But then hold up. How do you remain your higher self? Now, this is my perspective on that, family. It's not possible. Because we just started it off talking about toxic ways. We just started off talking about how we get low sometimes and we emit these low vibrational frequencies. Is that our higher self? No. Is it bad to be in our higher self when we do emit those frequencies? No. But we must connect back to it, and we already spoke on how to do that, right? So that question about remaining in your higher self, impossible. You won't achieve it. And you don't need to. You don't have to. Relax. Relax. Relax, baby. Relax, baby. Okay? You feel me? I promise you everything going to be all right. If you still want to live, you still want to breathe, you still want to go through things. Because once you've gone through everything and you have everything achieved and you got it and it's great, everything is it. You're done. You might as well go ahead on it. Beep, beep, beep. You're done. You're done at that point. You feel me? We're going to close it out 20 minutes. I'm loving it. 20 minutes. I gave y'all the full 30. So this one is going to be 20. That's perfect. We're not trying to do too much. You feel me? Last question, family. Last question. Fire question. I'm pretty sure a lot of people want to know this one too. Huh? How did you get into spirituality? Huh? How did you get into spirituality? So boom, I'm going to give you 2 answers, right? I'm going to give you 2 answers on this one, family. The first answer I'm going to give you is this. The spiritual answer, the more spiritual aspect. Remember, we're spiritual beings living a human experience. I'm going to give you the more spiritual answer, right? I've always been spiritual, right? Spirituality, now as I'm understanding it, and now as I know today, is not something you get into, you do, or you be. It's something that we just are. We all are spiritual. Everything you do is spiritual. So that's just a perception of spirituality. That shit, and then that shit then got so fucking washed down and so motherfucking, it's a wave and all of that now. It's just like, I don't even like that word no more. I really don't even like that word no more. I ain't gonna lie to you. So that's why I got my 2-parter. You feel me? First one, like I said, spirituality. I've always been spiritual. When I look back on myself in my younger years and my childhood self, I've done ritualistic things. I can see the spiritual essence in myself. I was always on my path. You're always on your path. You've always been on your path since the moment of conception, even before really. You were choosing shit and picking shit before you came down. Like, you see what I'm saying? You was picking shit. You was choosing shit before you been. So at the end of the day, you've always been spiritual. Everything about you is spiritual. Everything about you is spiritual, right? But when I give you my other answer, right? This is gonna be the physical aspect of things. This is the 3D. This is the answer this is the physical answer, right? Okay. We talked in a past podcast. If you did not, I want you to, like I said, this is a part 2, family. To the last podcast, you need to listen to episode 6. This is going to be episode 7. You need to listen to episode 6 first, and then listen to this one as a part 2, okay? For the second part of this answer, family, the physical reason, the human reason that I got into spirituality, if you want to call it, just to say that, is because, and we was talking about in the last episode, family, right? We was talking about relatives and things like that, right? Well, this is funny, family, but look, I strongly believe that it was a relative, right, that sent negative energy my way. Whatever you want to call it, black magic, curses, spells, hexes, whatever have you, family. Whatever have you, but negative energy my way to my essence and to my being, right? This was told to me. This message came to me. This was told to me. This message came to me. And this was the physical thing that's triggered and sparked my spiritual practicing and my understanding of me and myself as a spiritual being, right? Because like I said, I've always been spiritual. We're spiritual. Everything about us is spiritual. We've always been spiritual. You see what I'm saying? But you're not aware of it always. Everybody isn't aware of that. That's a fact. That's very valid. Just because we are all spiritual don't mean everybody aware of it. We are all divine. Everybody isn't aware of that. So everybody, you can only act based on what you know. You can only act off your awareness. You see what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, family, once I became aware of that shit, I had to act. Oh shit, I had to act on it just like that, family. So that kind of sparked my journey for sure in a major way. You know what I mean? In a major way because, I had already been into some things, but it was more personal inner peace type shit. You know what I mean? It was more like, yeah, type shit. But I really started really getting into a lot, and really just tapping in then. You know what I mean? I had to protect myself. You know what I'm saying? Had to 120% family. So that's my spill right there. That's it right there. 25 minutes. Perfect. That's perfect timing, family. I enjoyed this. I really did. Everybody, y'all know what to do. Continue to send me these beautiful ass questions, these beautiful topics to tap into. I'm just loving this, just to be able to release and let go. If y'all have any questions about anything I tapped into on the podcast or on the videos, man, shoot that shit to me. I'm an open book, family. I will run that shit. Okay? Peace. Let's get the recording. Woo! Okay,
I'm divine. I'm so confident that I can fly. Said I'm the one. Yeah, I'm so wise. Ain't no stopping this, cause it's my time. Had to take a step back and just look into the mirror. I won't stop now,